the first attack, that is a broken object level authorization. So this is the first category of API attacks. Like when like when we go for API penetration testing, so we maintain a list. There is OAuth's top 10 web APIs. So in that web API, we should go one by one. We should check each and every functionality. So when it comes to the web APIs penetration testing, the first one is broken object level authorization. So as it says that what this thing is, when I'm saying that this is an attack, that how you should do an attack and how should you think about that, with that how I exploit this thing. So first of all, I have this broken access level authorization, which can be called BOLA, BOLA. So what is trying to do here is attackers substitute ID of resources in API call within an IC resource belonging to another user. Means if you are using a web application, so you should see your resources only. But if you are seeing another people's resources, then yeah, it's a hack. Means it's a vulnerability in a web application that you need to be fixed. You need to get fixed. So for that, I want to share my screen. So what we have here is, this is the V API. There is vulnerable API. So this is the labs which we're gonna solve our today's webinar. So so this web API, this vulnerable APIs consist of various attacks. So which can be useful to demonstrate each and every attack according to the severity. So yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna see and show you today. So for that, I have hosted this virtual this vulnerable web API in my local host. And next I have my burp suit here. And the next I have my postman here. So see. So see, this is the postman. So in this we will regenerate every API request. So yeah. So for that, I have here, this is broken object level authorization, as I said. So what's the thing here? So here it is saying that it's a giving one hint that you can register yourself as a user. That's it. Or is there something more? So it's telling us that can we do something more? So let's get to the post create user first. Yeah. So guys, this is the API endpoint. See, this HTTP, this is host, where this is hosting this web application is currently hosted on my local host. That's why it's configured in my local host. So then we have API endpoints like vAPI, API one users. So if I want to see the what the request body of a particular API is, then we use Postman. And if you want to intercept that request, then we use our burp suit, this tool, burp suit. So yeah, so this is the first API we have for us. And in here we have to create user. So for that, there have several fields like username, name, course, and password. So we will create one account for this lab. So yeah, for that I'm creating one new account. So I'm copy this, and we will create one test account with username test1, and we'll copy that and we'll paste it to the name also, test1. Then we'll give it the course ABC, and then we will give one password ABC, and copy, and we'll paste this. Okay. So yeah, this is the basic structure of this web API. And yeah, I need to check that the proxies are done or not. Okay. Yeah. And I will send this request from here. And yeah, and we will see that our first user has been created. And when we will go to the tool burp suit, we will see in the HTTP history that the first request has been made, and we get this as a response. So yeah, this user is created in our web application, and the ID is 22. So we will forward this request to another tab called repeater, where we this is the tab, this is the functionality of Burpsuite of this repeater tab. Basically is we can repeat the request again and again in with the web server. Means we can communicate with the same request in the web through the web server. So yeah, when I'm sending this request again, so it says that yeah, duplicate entry. That's why. So yeah, what's the catch in it? So as the name suggests of the means first our attack, that is broken object level authorization. So what we can do here is we can say that the now the user is created. Next we can do is to get the information of that user. So see, first we have post request, means we are posting it to the web server that create this user, or post that command and anything. And the next request we have to get user, means to get the information of the user. So when I send the request, see, I'm getting this as my request. So when I check my proxy tab, so it says that when I send it to a repeater. So yeah, this is another request. This is a request to create one user. This one request is used to get the information of a particular user. So this gives me another user ID. So yeah, so what we can do here is we can use another functionality of Burpsuite to bypass this. So I will send it to the intruder now, and this is the intruder tab where we can mark our payloads. Go to the payload sections and we will supply numbers. So we will give from let's say 1 to 20. So first let me do this and then I will explain the what this thing is. So yeah, this attacks initiates. So yeah, so what this thing is, this tool is doing that. This tool is doing that in every request now it generates with number. It just changed the number. See, here we have number one, means it's fetching the content of first user, and this is a second user. This thing is fetching this request is fetching the content of third user. This is the content of fourth user. So not only that, we can see the responses also. See, this is the sixth user I'm getting, and this is the seventh response. So what's the matter here? See, we are currently logged in as number 16. Okay, we are currently logged in as number 16. So I should only fetch the details of number 16, which is me. So what we can do here is after logged in as one user, we are getting the details of another users also. So see, here I am getting at number 6, there's nothing there. Okay, so at number 5, see, there's account number 5, so I am getting the username, name and course of another user. And at 4, see, I am getting another user. These are the users. I am not, I didn't created these users, but I'm still getting the content of them. So that's the thing, that's the bola. So we have here is a flag format, the CTF type format. So when we checked all these requests now, so we will get at number 1 our first flag. See, this is our first flag. We are seeing that ID number 1 is username is Michael, his full name is Michael Scott, and the course is our first flag. Yeah. So I'm again sharing my slide to explain this. Yeah, so here we came again into the slide. So see what this image is trying to say here is, just assume that this is our first user Troy, and what he's trying to do here is he wants to fetch some content. Like just say that he's trying to see here get HTTP methods is used. So here what he's trying to fetch is the details of receipt, and the content means there his ID is 101. So he's Troy and he wants to fetch his own details. But what will happen if he tries to fetch the details of another user? Like see, he is trying to fetch 101, and he is also trying to fetch the 103 also, but still he gets 200 okay in response. So that should not be done. So that is broken object level authorization, means that at object level the code gets broken. So there are few steps in which we can prevent that. So first of all, we should implement authorization checks with user policies and hierarchy. So we should build proper user policies, security policies, and like that. And next we have do not rely on IDs. So see here, wins 101, 103, and we saw in our lab also that we are fetching the details, we are fetching the resources with numbers. So that should not be done. So here it says that check authorization for each client request to access database. So we have to check that the person is requesting for a content, if he's authorized to see that content or not. If it is not authorized, then we should not give him that. So then in next point we have random IDs. We should use random ID that cannot be guessed. So here what I did that in my lab is my ID was 16, but I generate one attack in which the ID number is changing continuously with increasing with number value 1. That what I'm trying to do there is I'm guessing the ID numbers. So that's why I I got success in that. So yeah. So what happened in the attack is, see, API did not perform permission checks. Means it doesn't perform that I have permissions to check that thing or not. So but still it returning data based on the identifier. See, that ID numbers are identifier here. Means the web application is not checking that who is asking for the data. He just checked that okay, this thing is asked, means someone, this is not checking that someone who is asking what. He's just checking that this thing is asked, give them. Hence we got the flag. That's why we got the flag. Yeah. And yeah, we will go further. Okay, so next thing we have a broken authentication. So yeah, what this thing is, as the name suggests and as the photo suggests, that here the lock is broken, means we are we are breaking the lock here. So yeah, what this thing is, poorly implemented API authentication, that allows attacker to assume other user identities. So when I break this into easy languages, means brute force attack can be done here, and we will get logged in of another users. So how we can do that, we will see again in our next lab. So just give me 1 minute to share my screen. So yeah, okay. So we will exit from here and we will clear the cache from here also, to be clutter free. Otherwise it will get mixed with another requests. Yeah. Next we have API 2. So see here the documentation has been given to us that it is broken authentication. Okay. So we don't seem to have any credentials for this. So what are the credentials is, credentials are usernames and passwords. So yeah, if you want to log into your Facebook account, you need credentials. So that is credentials. So here in for this lab we don't have any credentials. So how do we log in? But there's one thing in the resource folder which has given to us. So we will use that. So yeah, first of all we will see what that resource is. For that I will go to the web, and yeah, this is the GitHub repository of that root of that lab. So this is the thing. So what we have in the resources, see, you emails and some strings. So yeah, that thing is what can we say, this is dump, this is password dump. So we have almost like 1000 lines, means 1000 username and passwords. So yeah, if you get this type of dump, the only thing we have in mind is to brute force this thing. So how can we brute force this attack? So for that, we have to open this content in raw. Okay, and we will copy all. So no, before that, yeah, I have to capture the request first. So see, this is the API 2, this is the API endpoint here, that is a VAPI, API 2 and user login. So this API is doing what? This API is checking email. This is the email field, and this is the password field. So this API is checking that if I entering correct email and correct password, then it gives you access. So I'm not giving anything here. So see, what is trying to say here is success is equal to false, means I'm not giving her anything, that's why I'm getting false. And what's the cause of it? That is username or password is incorrect, because we don't have one. So yeah, the capture is means the request is captured here. So we will send this to repeater and intruder again to check in detail. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is this thing here is our username and passwords. So the first in first quarter we have our username. So this thing will happen like this. So I will show you one attack. So in that attack, what it is, what he will doing this, he will place username in this email field from that list, and it will place this as a password in this field, and it will send the request. So yeah, as we can see that this is not the correct credential, that's why we get success is equal to false and 401, that is error. So yeah, so we have this list of 1000 credentials. So we cannot do this manually, like one by one. So that's why I will take the help of one tool here is again, that is intruder tab. So yeah, the payloads are all already marked here. And the next I have to think do here is I have to attack type, I have to specify what are the attack types here. And for that I will use pitchfork. Means take one payload from one single line. I will delete, oh yeah, I will delete this is not used, yeah. And I will go to the payload here and will copy all of this, and paste. See, I paste all of the payloads, all of my credential in the payload option. And I have to do one more thing. I have to do a payload processing. Here I have to add a match and replace rule, because we don't want to go username with password in the respective fields. That's why. So yeah, we did pitchfork attack. Next we paste the payload, and next we add our payload processing match and replace. And yeah, in next payload we will add one delimiter. What this delimiter is, see, first it is comma. So see, we have commas in our credentials. See, means before comma is our means username, and after comma is our passwords. So yeah, this is the thing in which we can tell the burp suit that take before comma in the username field, and whatever the content is after comma, take that in the password field. So yeah, we did it for the first thing. You see, only take the before comma, after that dot star, it will replace with blanks. And I I'm doing this for the payload set 2 also, means there are two separate payloads, that's why. See, the first payload is for email and the second is for password. So just like I specify the email, same like that I will specify the password here. So I will paste, I will control all again and paste the thing here also. Yeah, and do this thing again, that match and rule. match and replace. And now I will change the course that only take what's after the comma, means before comma omit everything and replace with blanks. And we will untick this, because if we be this tick is to be ticked, that it will encode our payloads, and we will then start the tag. So as you can see, if we catch the first account, first request, so what is trying to do here is, see, it placed, okay, yeah, now it's initiated correctly. Some error has been done by me. So yeah, what the thing here is, we have various list of payloads here, and yeah, now it's working. So what is trying to do here is, see, the attack is initiated and it's currently at 167, and it's increasing continuously, and till the 1000 it will go, because we have 1000 credentials, right? So we will analyze the request now. So see, in first request, now in the first, if we have zeroth request, like the base request, so here we have nothing. In the first request we have, see, our email, means our username, and we have placed the password also. So see, this is the beauty of automation. So instead of doing manually one by one, so we automate the task here with the help of burp suite, with the help of this intruder tab. And see, you are getting the status of 401, means we can also check the response from here only, that it is a false, means it is not correct. So see, this is the second request, the email password has been changed. This is the third request, the email password has been changed again, and it's continually checking one by one again and again. So yes, yeah, it's getting completed. So see, okay, let's see, this interesting thing we have got here is, see, all of the requests are 401, that it means it's the error. But the two requests or three requests I get in response 200, okay, okay, see, means in my credentials, three till now are correct, so I'm getting response as tokens, see, and success as true, means these accounts credentials are correct, that's why I'm getting it. The request number is 4455, that is with the person with the username this and the password this is correct, and the next one is a 618, and next request is 803. So we can sort the status from here, by clicking on this status. So you will get, the content will get sorted, and it will show me that these three are 200 and the rest of them are 401s. So what's the next step? So see, I brute force a list, and I hacked this web page. That's all. So the next step here from here is, I want to get the details of a person, of a particular person. So in the first step, I only get that, yeah, it is true, but what after that? You have to fetch the user's request now. So that's why in the second request I'm sending this from here. So yeah, it's false because invalid token, and I intercepted it from the burp. Let's see. Here the authorization token is missing. Okay, so in that attack I get token. So just select anyone. I'm just select any one token from here. and we will try to place it here. For that we have to send it the request to the repeater, and let's see what happens. It gives me the my flag or not. So yeah, see, the time is just after the submission. It gives me the user ID, not only one but all. Means ID at what, who has at ID 1, who has ID 2, and who has ID number 3, and in that ID number 2 I got my flag. Yeah. So guys, this is uh where is API number 2? Yeah, there it is. So see, this is broken authentication. So that's how we get the access of another users. So for that I have to go to the my slide again. Yeah. So this is A2 broken authentication. So there the API implementation is very poor here. That's why we are able to do brute force attack. So when I'm saying brute force attack, credential stuffing is to be the more precise definition for that. That we have a list of numbers of credentials like usernames and passwords we have, and next thing what we do with that credential is we put that credentials one by one and check that is that thing is correct or not. So that thing is that thing definition is a credential stuffing. So yeah, so if successful, if credential stuff gets success, attackers can use this compromise attacks to steal sensitive information, conduct fraudulent activities, or even take control of the entire system. So just assume that if your credential get leaked somewhere and you are the admin of a particular website, so what will happen after that? Your admin account will get compromised, and yeah, you will lost all your websites. That's why. So it is important to use strong, unique passwords for each online account and enable two-factor authentication whenever possible to protect against credential stuffing attacks. So what we did in this lab here is, yeah. So in this lab now, well, API is not implemented correctly. That's why rate limiting and authentication functionality is not possible here. That's why attacker gained access to the another user's account with this credential stuffing technique. So yeah, we will go further. And before that, I have some points about that how to prevent this. So check all possible ways to authenticate all APIs. Yeah, API for password reset and one-time links also allow user to authenticate and should be protected. So you have to use standard authentication processes like token generation, password storage, and multi-factor authentication like MFA or two-factor authentication 2FA. We have to use short-lived access token. Yeah. And then we have authenticate your apps to know that who is talking to us and who is trying to access what. So we have to use stricter rate limiting processes like after some attempts your account should get locked. So this is the prevention things that we can do. So yeah. In this session, please watch module number 5, API authentication and authorization.